Y&R Spoilers reveal Victor Newman and Audra Charles's dangerous conspiracy. Summer Newman faces deadly secret in a world filled with love, betrayal, and power. The latest story on The Young and the Restless is unfolding in a tense and unexpected scenario. Summer Newman, who has always been in the middle of difficult decisions in her relationships with her family and those around her, is gradually discovering a dangerous plot that Victor Newman and Audra Charles are secretly plotting. Once the truth is revealed, not only will her relationship with Kyle Abbott be threatened, but the future of those she loves will be drawn into a fierce power struggle. Summer and the feeling of enlightenment. Summer, who has always been in the middle of difficult decisions and complicated relationships, begins to realize that what she once believed about her family and friends may be just a facade. The appearance of Audra Charles, a character known for her charisma and sharp intellect, further raises Summer's suspicions. Although Audra has not yet officially committed herself to Victor's plan against Kyle, her actions in crucial situations have shown that she may be seriously considering Victor's offer. Summer, with her sharp nature and sharp ability to analyze situations, gradually realizes that Audra is not indifferent to Victor's offers. She begins to suspect that the dark plans that Victor is hiding may involve Kyle, the boyfriend she loves. This creates a tense situation not only for Summer but also for the entire Abbott family. Will Summer have the courage to face the truth and warn Kyle of the lurking danger? Victor Newman, the plot to destroy Kyle and Claire's relationship. Victor Newman, the most powerful man in the world of The Young and the Restless, never hesitates to carry out his schemes. One of his targets at the moment is Kyle Abbott, son of Jack Abbott, whom Victor never considered worthy of Claire Newman, the girl he loves. In private conversations, Victor has expressed his plan to destroy the relationship between Kyle and Claire, with the aim of proving that Kyle is not strong enough, not brave enough to keep Claire by his side. Kyle and Claire's relationship has already endured many storms and challenges, but if Victor's plot succeeds, this will not only hurt Kyle but also put Claire in a dangerous and challenging situation. With his determination, Victor is looking to take advantage of all the relationships around Kyle, thereby causing this relationship to collapse within reach. Audra Charles, indecision and crucial choices. Audra Charles, a woman who is both strong and cunning, is one of the more complex and unpredictable characters in the film. Although she has not formally agreed to join Victor's plan, her refusal to outright reject his offer puts everyone on guard. It is clear that Audra does not take Victor's invitation lightly. She knows that her career will take a huge step forward if she agrees to help Victor fight Kyle. The lure of the ideal job that Victor promises may be too strong for her to refuse. This makes her reconsider her relationship with Kyle and may seek to take him down so that she can take the position she has always desired in Newman's powerful world. Although Audra has drawn a clear line in the sand when it comes to drawing Kyle into a romantic relationship, she may change her mind if her career and ambitions are threatened. Joining Victor's plans may be a strategic choice, but it is also a risky one. If she decides to follow Victor, she will not only face a strained relationship with Kyle, but also be held accountable for her choices. Will Summer warn Kyle? The biggest question now is whether Summer has the courage and determination to reveal the dangerous plot she has uncovered to Kyle. She knows that if this information falls into Kyle's hands, things will never be the same again. Her relationship with Kyle could be severely damaged if he learns what Summer is learning. However, she also knows that if she keeps quiet, the consequences will be even worse, not only for Kyle but for everyone around her. Meanwhile, Audra has yet to make a final decision on whether or not she will join Victor's plan. But if she does, it will certainly pose a huge threat to Kyle and Claire. This relationship is on the brink of collapse, and Summer's failure to warn her could lead Kyle and Claire into a war they are not prepared for. A power battle is coming. It is certain that Victor Newman's plot and Audra's possible involvement will create a tense and unpredictable battle. Summer Newman will face extremely difficult choices in the coming time. Will she keep her secret and face the consequences herself, or will she stand up to protect the one she loves? One thing is for sure, when this conspiracy is exposed, nothing will be the same, and all the characters will be caught up in a whirlwind of power and betrayal. The next developments of the story promise to be extremely attractive and dramatic, with relationships being tested and secrets being revealed. Fans of The Young and the Restless will certainly not be able to take their eyes off these tense episodes as they continue to develop. Victor and Audra's conspiracy, Summer Newman and her secret war in the world of intrigue, betrayal, and complicated love on The Young and the Restless, a new story is unfolding with many tense and surprising twists. Victor Newman's scheme, combined with Audra Charles's, is slowly forming a cunning plan with a big goal: to push Kyle Abbott out of Claire Newman's life. And while everything seems to be going smoothly, one person may be the key to uncovering the secret: Summer Newman. Recent events have left Summer in a difficult position, as she discovers that Audra Charles may be involved in Victor's dangerous plan. For Summer, this is an uncomfortable revelation. She's all too familiar with Audra's presence and knows all too well the tricks she can pull. Especially when it comes to Kyle, Summer finds herself on the brink of a fight she can't avoid. Can she protect the one she loves from the danger she's slowly discovering, or will she face threats from the very people she despises the most? Victor and Audra. The insidious plan to get Kyle. Victor Newman and Audra Charles's plot begins with a clear goal: to get Kyle Abbott away from Claire Newman. Victor has always seen Kyle as an obstacle in Claire's life and his power decisions. Victor's goal is to make Kyle lose his place in Claire's heart, while proving that Kyle is not capable enough to protect Claire in the challenging world of Newman Enterprises. Audra, with her intelligence and talent, soon realizes that Victor's offers are a great opportunity to assert herself in the ambitious world. Although she was not fully committed to Victor's plan, she did not outright refuse, which put everyone on guard. Throughout the process, Audra not only acted as a supporter, but also became an indispensable factor in shaking Kyle and Claire's relationship. This became even more dangerous when Kyle began to notice a change in Audra's attitude towards him. She no longer kept her distance from him as before, but instead, began to show interest and seemed to intend to drag him into a more complicated relationship. For Summer, this was a huge threat, because she knew that if Audra really succeeded in seducing Kyle, her relationship with him would be shaken, and everything she had ever believed in would collapse. Summer, feeling nervous. Summer Newman, who prides herself on her ability to see and sense danger from afar, can't help but notice that Audra may be playing a dangerous game. Summer has had her share of tensions with Audra, and it's not hard for her to see that if Audra manages to seduce Kyle, it will put her relationship with him in serious jeopardy. Summer, while she may have tried to keep her distance from Kyle at times, cannot keep quiet when faced with the risk of losing him. Once Summer discovers that Audra is not only playing Victor's power game but also potentially posing a threat to Kyle, she cannot remain silent. Summer's anxiety mounts as she understands that what she's dealing with is not just a simple romantic relationship, but a game of calculation and intrigue. Summer and Audra's confrontation. As if an inevitable battle, Summer and Audra's confrontation has been long in the making. Audra, who already dislikes Summer, is even more pleased to see her anxious and insecure. For Audra, making Summer feel confused and weak is part of her strategy. While Summer tries to keep Kyle by her side, Audra makes decisive moves to prove that she can replace Summer in Kyle's heart. However, what Audra doesn't realize is that Summer, despite her weak appearance, has a strong determination and character. She won't let Kyle go without a fight, and she's willing to take on anyone, even Audra. The tension between the two grows as Summer realizes that she may not only have to face Audra, but also a plot by Victor that she must uncover. Warnings and impending danger. Meanwhile, Victor is quietly watching Summer's every move. He knows that if Summer finds out about his plan, everything could be exposed. Especially if she warns Kyle, his scheme will quickly collapse. However, Victor is not one to give up easily. He will not hesitate to use any means to stop Summer, including threats, psychological manipulation, and implied warnings. While Audra becomes more and more confident and gloats about Summer's worries, Summer is not sitting still. She begins to question whether she can find a way to expose Victor's scheme before it's too late, or whether she can find a way to protect Kyle from a plan that she feels is extremely dangerous. Conclusion: a war full of intrigue and love. With Victor and Audra's plot becoming more and more perfectly orchestrated, Summer is facing a challenging turning point. She may face some tough decisions, as she must choose between protecting her love and exposing the secrets she uncovers. This battle will not only be between Summer and Audra, but also between two powerful forces in the Newman and Abbott families. Things are about to explode, and fans of The Young and the Restless will definitely not be able to miss the dramatic and surprising developments in this battle. Will Summer have the courage to face the dark plot, or will she be drawn into a power play she was not prepared for? In the world of The Young and the Restless, relationships are always complicated, not only by love but also by intrigue, strategy, and calculated decisions. Recently, one of the stories that has attracted the attention of the audience is the connection between Victor Newman and Audra Charles in a plan aimed at breaking up the relationship between Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman. However, between Victor's calculations and Audra's strategy, Summer Newman, Kyle's ex, is facing a fierce battle with her emotions and the threats of a dark conspiracy. Although Summer still loves Kyle and worries about his future, she cannot deny one fact: she may have to face challenging decisions. Will she intervene to prevent Audra from getting closer to Kyle, or will she let things develop according to Victor's plan, even accepting that this change may be a strategy that benefits her? Victor and Audra's devious plan, targeting Kyle and Claire. When Victor Newman decides to target Kyle Abbott in the Newman and Abbott family power struggle, he does not simply want to destroy a relationship but also wants to prove Kyle's inability to protect Claire. Kyle and Claire's relationship, although seemingly peaceful and happy, becomes a target in the eyes of Victor, who sees Kyle as an insurmountable obstacle. Victor wants Audra Charles to join his plan, because she is someone who can approach Kyle naturally and discreetly. Audra, although not fully committed to Victor, cannot deny that his offers are opportunities she cannot pass up. Being able to use her feelings to approach Kyle not only gives her a chance to advance her career but also makes her an indispensable part of Victor's scheme. Audra begins to show signs of deliberately drawing closer to Kyle, part of Victor's strategy to break up his relationship with Claire. Although Audra is not entirely ready to be romantically involved with Kyle, her manipulative and calculating nature makes this a very vulnerable element. If this plan succeeds, Kyle and Claire's relationship will be in great danger. Summer Newman, anxiety and difficult decision. As Summer begins to realize that Audra may be after Kyle, her worries grow. Although Summer has decided to stay away from Kyle and let him be free with Claire, she cannot help but feel jealous and worried that Audra may replace her in Kyle's heart. This leaves her with a difficult decision: will she intervene to protect her feelings for Kyle, or will she let things go their way with Audra and Victor? Summer knows that if she lets Audra get any closer to Kyle, her relationship with him will be threatened and she will lose her chance to win him back. However, she also knows that if she intervenes too forcefully, it could put more strain on her relationship with Kyle, and possibly hurt Claire. Summer's anxiety is a natural reaction, as she realizes that she has not completely gotten over her feelings for Kyle and her jealousy of Claire. Part of this is Summer's self-awareness that she still loves Kyle, and those feelings cannot be easily dismissed. However, her anxiety and fear come not only from the possibility of Kyle being manipulated by Audra, but also from the emergence of larger plans that Victor has in store. Summer begins to realize that if she does not act now, she may be drawn into a war that she cannot control. Summer, Kyle, and Claire's relationship. A complicated emotional battle with Victor's machinations and Audra's potential involvement. Summer is facing a difficult emotional battle. Not only does she have to deal with Kyle's possible change of heart, but she also has to deal with her own mixed emotions. Although she knows that she may not have a chance to win Kyle back, she can't help but wonder what she can do to protect him from Victor and Audra's schemes. Meanwhile, Claire and Kyle's relationship is also being affected by outside forces. If Summer decides not to intervene, Victor's plan may succeed in disrupting Kyle and Claire's relationship. However, if Summer decides to intervene, she will face major consequences and may cause a rift between her and Kyle. Summer's emotional complexity comes not only from the fact that she still loves Kyle, but also from her worries about her future. If she doesn't act, she could lose him forever. But if she intervenes too strongly, she could lose any chance of making up with Kyle in the future. Summer's big decision: warn Kyle or let it happen? The big question is whether Summer should warn Kyle about Victor and Audra's scheme or not. She knows that if she doesn't act, Kyle could get sucked into Victor's plan without realizing the danger. However, if she intervenes too much, she could create more distance between herself and Kyle, which could lead to them never getting back together. Summer's jealousy of Claire is also a big factor in her decision. While she doesn't want to hurt Claire, her desire to win Kyle back may drive her to act more aggressively. However, she must also ask herself whether a relationship with Kyle is what she truly wants, or whether she can let him go and move on without being haunted by the past. Conclusion: an emotional and calculating battle. Summer Newman is facing one of the most important decisions of her life. She can choose to interfere with Victor's plans, or let Audra carry out her strategy and face unpredictable consequences. While her feelings for Kyle are a factor that cannot be ignored, Summer will also be faced with strategic decisions that could change her life forever. In the world of the young and the restless, where nothing is ever simple, Summer will have to figure out how to handle this complexity. Will she fight for love, or will she let things go and accept the changes in her life? The answer will come in the following tense and surprising episodes.